EMF equation of a DC generator. So before deriving the EMF equation of a DC generator, these are the terms which are to be known. Let psi be the flux per pole in Webers, Z be the total number of armature conductors, P be the number of poles, A be the number of parallel paths in which Z number of conductors are divided, A equals to 2 for wave wound, A equals to P for lap wound, N is the armature speed in RPM, Eg is the EMF generated in one parallel path. So as we all know that DC generator works on Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. The average value of EMF induced, average value of EMF induced in each armature conductor is E is equal to d psi by dt, where d psi indicates the total flux cut in one revolution to the total time required to complete one revolution. So we are considering one conductor for one revolution. So in one revolution, the total flux cut by the conductor in one revolution is produced by P number of poles multiplied with the flux per pole. So it is P psi. Then total time required to complete one revolution is 60 by n seconds. So the value of EMF induced is d psi by dt, which is equal to P psi by 60 by n, which is equal to P psi n by 60 volts. So this is the EMF induced in one conductor. Now conductors in one parallel path are always connected in series. There will be a Z number of conductors in A number of parallel paths. So Z by A number of conductors are always in series in one parallel path. Therefore the EMF remains same across all the parallel paths. So the expression for the EMF induced in the armature is being written as phi P n by 60 into Z by A, because as Z by A number of conductors are always connected in series, the EMF equation is being written as phi Zn by 60 into P by A. So this is the expression for EMF induced in a DC generator. As the armature is being connected in the form of lap or wave type, in case of lap, A is equal to P. So substituting in the above expression, psi Z n by 60 into P by P, replacing A with P, so it is phi Zn by 60 for a wave wound type. whereas lap wound type, whereas for a wave wound A equals to 2. So this is the EMF equation of a DC generator. As the armature is being connected in the form of lap, for lap wound A is equal to P, Eg is equal to 5Zn by 60 into P by P. So PP gets cancelled. Finally it is 5Zn by 60. Whereas for wave wound A equals to 2, Eg is equal to 5Zn by 60 into P by 2. It is 5Zn by 120 into P. So let us solve some problems. Here given in the problem, a 4-pole lap-wound DC generator having a flux of 0.07 Weber. Calculate the generated EMF when it is rotating at 900 RPM with the prime mover. So armature consists of 440 conductors. Right. So calculate the generated EMF if lap wound is replaced by a wave wound. Note down the given data. P is equal to 4. Flux is 0.07 Weber per pole. N is 900 RPM. Z is 440 conductors. So for lap A equals to P, Eg is equal to 5Zn by 60 into P by A. So 0.07 into 440 into 900 by 60 into 4 by 4. You are going to get it as 462 volts. So given in the problem, lap is replaced by wave. A equals to 2. So Eg is equal to 5Zn by 60 into P by A. 0.07 into 440 into 900 by 60, 4 by 2. It is 924 volts. Let us see the second problem. A 4-pole lap-wound DC generator has 42 coils, 8 turns per coil with. It is driven at 1120 RPM and the useful flux per pole is 21 milliwebers. Calculate the generated EMF. So first note down the given data. P is 4 and lap wound. So A equals to P, which is equal to 4. Given in the data, turns is equal to 42 coils multiplied with 8 turns per coil. So coil gets cancelled. Finally it is 42 into 8, 336. We all know that Z is equal to 2 into turns. So 2 into 336, it is 672. And flux is 21 milliweber. Speed of rotation is 1120 RPM. So calculating the generated EMF, it is 5Zn by 60 into P by A. Substituting all the values, 21 into 10 to the power of minus 3, 672 multiplied with 1120 by 60 into 4 by 4. Finally it is 263.42 volts. Then given in the problem, find the speed at which it is to be driven to generate the same EMF with a wave wound armature. So here A is equal to 2 wave wound we have to calculate the speed. So Eg is equal to 5Zn by 60 into P by 2. So write the expression for N, Eg into 60 into 2 by psi Z into psi Z P. So Eg is 263.42 into 60 into 2 by 21 into 10 to the power of minus 3 into 1120 into 672. So speed is 560 rpm. This is how you have to solve. Then coming to the third problem, a 4-pole generator having a wave-wound armature with 51 slots, each slot containing 20 conductors. What will be the voltage generated in the armature when driven at 1500 rpm, assuming the flux per pole to be 7 milliwebers? So given data, P is 4, wave wound, so A is 2. So calculate the conductors. 51 slots, each slot contains 20 conductors, so it is 51 into 20, that is 1020 are the total number of conductors. Speed is 1500 rpm, flux 7 milliwebers. So Eg is equal to 5Zn by 60 into P by A. Your flux is 7 into 10 to the power of minus 3. Z is 1020 multiplied with 1500 by 60 into P is 4, A is 2. You are going to get it as 357 volts.